Well, hello there, sunflowers, and how are you guys today? Well, I hope you guys are doing just as beautifully as I'm doing today. However, I am here to do a reading on Halle Bailey. Not only not only has a subscriber wanted a comment, a tarot reading on them, Lady Crone and I literally just today actually had just talked about Holly and her relationship with DDG, or co-parenting relationship, their situationship going on between Holly and her baby daddy. So I'm here to pull some cards. You can go check out that video, our intuitive news, if you would like to hear what we have to say, and please do check it out. It is a whole lot of good, juicy stuff besides Haley. So with that, I'm just going to pick some cards to see what's going on with Holly and how she is co-parenting, forget co-parenting. I mean, co-parenting is always an option, but I really want to check in on her career. I know her and her sister, Chloe dropped a little teaser that her and her sister are getting in the studio together. I thought they've been getting in the studio together for like the last year or so now, but like she said, their schedules were busy and now they're finally able to really get in the studio together and create music together. And Chloe is very excited for that. And I'm honestly excited to see the Chloe and Holly duo back. Like, what version are we going to get? Like, are we going to get the angelic hour Chloe and Holly like we did? Or are we going to get like something like In Trouble in Paradise Because I Love You Babe like type track? Like, I don't know. It's interesting. I'm not trying to project anything on Holly, but Holly's doing this to herself. She's just trying to change her. Well, I don't want to say she's doing this to herself. She's changing her image, or she is curating her image from being that Disney girl to a woman, basically. And we know that transition that every Disney kid goes through. I could name Miley, I can name Lindsay Lohan, I could continue going on. Demi Lovato, Selena Gomez. I mean, I could continue listing them. So because of that, I understand. Zendaya hasn't gone through it though, but that's a whole side tangent. Okay. Let's just find out what is going on with Holly and her career, her life. What is just going on with her, period. You love DDG. Like, what's going on with you guys? Okay, I've shuffled quite enough. I love that for an Aries, the Ace of Wands. And also, we're getting ready to come up to Aries season. She's feeling creative. Let's see. Since that's where I was going to motion it, I'll put it right there. Now bear with me for a second. I just want to see something. Here. That would be there. Right there. Hold on. Did I rotate that rightly? There we go. I had to rotate it. Yeah. I like that much better. Yes. Okay. So the reason why I had to do, as you guys had to watch me figure out how I had to rotate the circle, is because recently I have been doing this to harp back to astrology and the whole ascending, descending when I'm talking about the circle and what's going on around her. And especially because this is the Ace of Wands and this is like the center of focus and like everything is like beaming and coming off of this. I want to see what's surrounding and radiating off of this Ace of Wands. Like what energy is Holly giving off, especially because it's a fire energy. And just like the cards look like they're expressing as well. The Ace of Wands can symbolize a burnout, but it's honestly true to an Aries. It's going to be March. Like I said, please, if you haven't checked out my my astrology video talking about March in Aries and coming in hot like fire. Speaking of it, I see this just combustion and a lot of energy going on, especially astrologically. There's just a whole lot going on in the stars. It's just like back to back to back. March is very eventful as we transition from Pisces to Aries. But that's another story as we were coming up even closer, just literally around the corner. March is just Aries and spring is just around the corner. We can feel the weather change. But anyway, enough of the astrology. Here we see with Holly at this very moment, the Ace of Wands. She's feeling creative. She's very sparky. She's very on fire. Whether that has to deal with co-parenting, whether that has to deal with how she feels about DDG, or whether that has to deal with about her career. It's just all of that. Everything she is feeling innovative in. She's finding a new way to co-parent. She's finding a new level, a new way to get along with DDG. Like they're on again, they're off again, they're hot and then they're cold and then yes and then no. It's in and out, up and down. They kiss, they make up. Like, come on, like for real. Do I have to continue singing the lyrics? This is literally DDG and Holly's relationship at the core. So because of that, it's a bit sporadic, chaotic, and unpredictable. It's literally like a fire flame that flickers. It's good, and then you like breeze it because there is a whole lot of sword surrounding this fire. So it's like the flame, the flicker is good, and then it's like you blow, and it's just like flames. That's literally what I'm seeing here. However, I do see a good foundation though at the very bottom, although it is looking very high energy for Holly right now. So for that, honestly, it is a lot. I mean, I know she's a year past having a child, but still, she could still be going through that adjustment of being a mom, and working and getting back into the studio. So there's just a whole lot of transitions and a lot of things that she is doing behind the scenes that we might not quite see. So if she does maybe react a certain way or feel a certain way or maybe jump to a conclusion, it's just because she's kind of hot and feeling herself at this very moment, because it's just like everything. It's like everything she's manifesting is coming to pass. Like everything she wanted, everything she dreamt of, everything she put her energy and time into, it flourished and it became what she wanted it to become. And because of that, that's where that Ace of Wands is coming from. That really, I see it as the true magician energy of bibbity boppity boop, the fire, the spark, the creative of life. Speaking of feminine energy, but fire is the masculine side of the feminine. Just saying, in my personal opinion, that's just how I interpret it. But let me step out of the astrology. But at the very bottom here, what I see with all this fire and with all this air, I do see at the very bottom there is some earth. There is some very good solid foundation actually to have at the very bottom, which is why I was curious. Which is why I wanted to figure out how I wanted these cards to be placed as well, because it just makes more sense, not just foundation wise in the number form, what it symbolizes, but just the fact that it just actually put the picture into much more clearer perspective when I saw that everything above the foundation, everything above the ground was energy, just legit energy, fire energy, air energy, just energy, just as the Ace of Wands says, a little too hot, a little too much, a little too sporadic everywhere, tentacles, fingers, doing too much, invested in too much, giving of too much, just could be too much. But that's never a bad thing, because for an Aries, they can easily burn themselves out. But I'm not trying to catch any strays here with you guys. I'm really going to try to stick out of the astrology here. But for real. At the very bottom, we have the Four of Pentacles, which symbolizes a foundation, but more so a physical foundation, something that is tangible, something that actually grounds her. Like when she is feeling maybe out of control or just erratic, I'll say, just because of all the wind and air surrounding her. The fire really has no rest. It's just being blown one which way, every which way. It's just wherever the wind blows, they go. So because of that, to have an anchoring foundation, a sense of stability, something tangible, something that can like anchor her down back into reality when she starts feeling like she's losing sight or losing touch or feeling out of herself or just out of the norm. She has something that she can fall back onto. And because of that, I really do see that. Wow. I'm trying so hard here. So we see she's just the foundation here when it comes to her career. She just has a solid foundation within herself. A solid foundation within herself that keeps her grounded when she feels as though her energy is not within her control. We all have those days where we just can get caught up in the moment. Life is just doing life, and you need some time to catch up, and you feel like you can't even catch your breath because once you do one thing, another thing happens, and then that happens, and you're like, life, give me a break here. Can I at least breathe? Let me catch up. I'm like, feel like I'm in fight or flight, like I'm fighting for my life here, and it's just like you just got to go with it. You just got to push through it. Well, that's the sense that I'm feeling with Holly, that she's feeling just everything just piling up on top of it, on each other. And why do I see that is actually, weirdly enough, before she got to the Ace of Wands, she was the Ace of Swords. So that could really symbolize that she is this is symbolized in the past. So is this just a recent breakup or a recent severing of a connection that she could have, a recent mental clarity, a recent, oh my God, aha, I finally see it. I can see clearly now. The rain is gone. Like brighter days, brighter futures ahead. Literally, like the Ace of Swords says, but that's like a real hard transition to go from like Ace of Wands, swords, like the Ace of Wands is like swerving, like hard. You know how when you take, like, when you're driving and they have to give you that arrow sign to let you know that, yeah, you're about to make a turn, but it's a real hard turn. That's the huge shift that I'm getting here from the Ace of Swords to the Ace of Wands. Not only are they both masculine energies and they're both aggressive energies and also energies of fighting, like I was just talking about, fight or flight, but they also symbolize a sense of communicating and expression, though they're all about forms of expression, because masculine energy is projecting outward, so therefore you are expressing yourself to the outward world. Still slipped in there. And we see that the Ace here with the swords is she could have felt like maybe the relationship with her and DDG was not what she was really trying to look for. Maybe she did try to give it a chance, and it was something within herself that she said, I just do not want this. She was standing her ground. And maybe when it also comes with that, maybe DDG is like, I don't know, like some good material to write music for, because now she's up in the studio. She's about to make music and drop an album. And yet here we see her going through life, being a mother, somewhat of a single parent, question mark, co-parenting, keeping her baby daddy from seeing his baby. It's just like, what? It's just we that with that masculine energy on top of that could also symbolize the fact of being defensive within the relationship and within the dynamic of the family. But also she could have some mental clarity right now. And she's just like, ooh, I have some good inspiration. I feel the sparks. I feel the juices. I'm getting visions. I'm seeing the music. I saw the change when she came out, all because I love you, babe. Like that was like a whole new Holly. The basically way I saw it, popped out a baby, and then that came out. I was just like, oh, this is what we're getting. This is the new Holly that has emerged. This is after baby glow Holly. We got the Ace of Swords, somebody that's confident in themselves, somebody that knows who they are, what they want, and how to get what they want in life. And like the magician they are, or like we're all our own types of magicians. So just like the creative person that she is, both fire and mentally and creatively, she is going to take this time and opportunity to create, just express, just basically, weirdly enough, be feminine by planting seeds everywhere, but masculine all at the same time of just sprouting the seed everywhere. But we see here above her head is the Ace of Swords. Sorry, not the ace, the Eight of Swords, which symbolizes a period of transformation. We do see it. We see the Ace of, wow, why do I keep wanting to say the ace? The aces are hot. That's why. It's right above the ace. And honestly, it's kind of like a hot fire mentally, because to have this above her in her mental while she's flaming in her energy, I'll say, because she is a fire sign and she shows up as an ace. So she is in her element. She is within control, and she is utilizing all of her energy, feminine power and all, to put into her work, her image, and what she truly wants to create and get out of this lifetime. So because that we see at this moment, however, all that to be said, in her mind, what she's processing is a stagnation, but is a stagnation that she has, interestingly enough, put her own self in. It's like a mental block or a mental trap that she has put herself in, or some mental restraint that she doesn't realize she's giving power to, which is why she could be the Ace of Swords. Because when you do think you're in power and you're not truly in power, you start trying to do things to overcompensate to make sure that you do make up for that lack of power or lack of sense of control, even, because that's what fire is too. Fire controls, consumes. It is what it is with fire. So with that, we have her, and that's why this is why the swords and the fire is just not a good combination right now, because that could prevent it's like she's grown, but she hasn't fully showcased and blossomed to us, the world, who she truly really is. Like, we've seen glimpses of this new Holly 2.0 that we're about to see, but we haven't really seen Holly 2.0, and we probably won't see that Holly until she drops her album. Like that album is probably going to tell exactly where her mental is, because that's where she's putting her energy and investing her time in at this moment. And we see here in the future is the Three of Swords. Now, the best question is, how does that really fit into her future? I'm thinking I'm going to save that to the very end because I don't want to jump to conclusions here, because there are many ways you could see the Three of Swords. However, for it to be in her future and something that is preceding her or coming before her, that like this card really does, wow, like this card really does say like she's like in this mental time warp that keeps her stuck from moving truly forward past something, whatever she's holding on to. But before we get there to that end card, we see here, going along with that Eight of Swords, is the Five of Wands, which is in the fear section, which is actually a quite good place to have this Five of Wands, because this is where if you want something to fear the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands is literally static, chaotic energy. Speaking of going back to the video we talked about earlier about ADHD and being hyperactive and all over the place, scattered brain, doing this, doing that, maybe not fully completing tasks or giving it not your complete full attention. So because of that, that's what this Five of Wands symbolizes. And that should be something you should fear. And that's why, because you're, I don't want to say wasting energy. That's a bad way to put it. But it is misguided or mispurposed or misused energy that could go towards something productive and really, truly creative and really, truly something that's going to fulfill her. But maybe she gets stuck on the petty things. Oh, I don't want to call them petty either. Or maybe get sidetracked. You know how you do if you play video games. You get a little bit bored with the main story, so you just wander off a little bit to the side story and do some side quest to preoccupy your time. And then once you're finished with that, you're like, oh, right, I got to get back to my main story. That was a good distraction while it lasted. That's basically what the Five of Wands symbolizes. And that could symbolize why in the future this the Three of Swords is showing up for her future, because energy that is not controlled or tamed or guided can be misfired and could lead to places you didn't expect to see yourself. I hope I said that the lightest, friendliest, non-judgmental way possible. And we see here in her hopes card, which is a very great card, chef's kiss, looking great, is the strength card. And the strength card here in the hopes is to have that inner strength. Like I said at the very bottom, at the very, very beginning, she has something within herself that she can rely on and fall back on. And when times do get weary and she feels like she's all over the place, like she really isn't truly focused, and she's so busy stretching and spreading her energy all over the place, not in a bad way, but just that's what you just do when you're a celebrity, and that's what you just do in life, period. But she's an actress, she's a singer, she's a mom, she's a part-time creator, and then now she's also sick on top of that. So it's just like all of that. It's just wild, and for her to go through, and it's just like stacking up one top of each other, and to be there, to be a present mom in this very moment for her. She feels like she needs to gather some inner strength, because it can get a bit weary. She can get distracted along the way, or she might feel like she would want some sort of distraction Maybe that's when she calls up DDG and be like, "Hey, DDG, where are you with this child?" Not that I'm ready to pawn the child off to you or anything right now, but I need a break. Kind of. Sorry. Love my children though. But it's that strength to have the strength to overcome any challenge, the strength to not be swayed, blown any which way, and allow this Three of Swords to happen, to allow yourself to feel hurt or to feel like something didn't pan out the way you envisioned it, the way you planned it. Everything usually goes your way. You manifest, it happens. But sometimes you do just manifest things wrong. It's not about what you manifest, it's honestly about how you manifest it, or like what they say, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. It's like the intent. It's like you got to be like really serious. You got to, not like serious, but like really specific. And like when you give these answers, like especially if you're trying to like manifest something and put that intent into it, you really got to search within yourself. The Four of Pentacles, but also that Strength card, to really search within yourself that is truly what you want and want to align with. And that's what's going to really make you happy, because you will get it. And so here we have friends, family, and loved ones see the lovers for her. They see the spark. They see the love there for DDG. They see Holly is honestly, you know what? There's nothing wrong with being in love with yourself. You know, that's the best way I'm getting it. That's, like I said earlier, she's feeling herself. She's in her element. She's in her energy of fire. So she's coasting. She is like raining tear, feeling good about herself. And because of that, that's what people are seeing her radiate. Love, but love for herself, the self-love to I guess have autonomy while still being in a co-parenting relationship, being like a role model and an example to how to love yourself and still be in a relationship, or the lack thereof, you know, the on again, off again relationship, but also what love brings to your life, period. It brings happiness. It brings joy. It brings creative spark. It brings life. It brings the pep into your step. Like that's what she's radiating and oozing. That's what people are picking up from her. Whether that's love for her career, whether that's love for her sister, whether that's love for Halo, whether that's love for DDG, she's just oozing love and acceptance and belonging and confidence and independence, in a sense of mirroring and reflecting energy, a true harmonious balance. That's what she's radiating and giving off. Now, whether that she's giving off the nice balance of the masculine and feminine energy that comes with the lovers, and that's why she is so full and complete within herself, and she has that strength, which is another fire card ruled by ruled by Leo. But we see here in her future, her outcome, we see the seven of Pentacles, which is actually very fitting for her, because maybe she took some losses in her love life or what's going on in her future, but whatever it is, we see that she's going to continue working. She's going to continue growing. She's going to continue to put everything into order, make sure that it's perfect, make sure, as I keep talking about throughout this video, which I did not even realize this was right in front of me, but talking about aligning, finally getting in sync and vibe in harmony with what she truly wants. now that she's had the baby, now what is she going to do? Like I said, she's back up in the studio. She's found a new reason to make music again. She left the music industry to go do some acting. She had to go off, find herself, go do some things, and she came back around. She's just like, okay, I finally found myself. I know what it is I want to do. I know let's get back in the studio. Let's go. This is what I want. So this is like the kind of energy that I'm getting, that she's have a newfound sense of drive, newfound sense of direction of where she's going. Maybe this is where this Three of Swords is coming in her future, that what was a time where she wasn't quite sure of herself, or she wasn't quite confident within herself, where she was that shy Holly, that we was like that innocent younger sister that you just, oh, you want to baby her, right? And she was just like, guys, this hurts me just as much as it hurts you, that I have to do this to prove to you that I am a grown woman and I want to be treated and respected and looked at as an adult. So if that means that I had to do what I had to do, then that's just what I had to do. And I'm glad it was with him for sure, though, because that's at least one thing in my basket that I don't have to be heartbroken about. Besides the fact that they do have this on again, off again relationship, which is a heartbreak in of itself, because just when things are getting good, it somehow goes south. If somebody makes it go south or go sour. So with that being said, I'm just going to leave that one alone. I hope you enjoyed this reading on Halle Bailey. I sure did. I think that her career and her love life and just what's going on with her energetically wise at this very moment. Now, once I was finally able to step away from talking about astrology, I do see that it is actually looking like self-love and maybe self-absorbed, but that's an Aries thing. I said no more astrology. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Well, what did I read on Aries today? I hope you enjoyed this reading on Halle Bailey. I sure did. I really enjoyed it. I feel like I actually did walk away with learning something new about her, that there is some reason behind the way she's maneuvering with her relationship with DDG. She's trying to define her own relationship and how she feels with him and stand with him in all of this. So she too is trying to figure this all out. So maybe that's another reason why she keeps things to herself, because she isn't ready to fully share and fully express what's going on until she has a clear understanding of where things are going. Even if that means having a little bit of control over the narrative and how things are going to go. She probably had to put them in a headlock. Be like, you're not going to talk about this unless I tell you to talk about it. You got it, capiche? So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this reading on Halle Bailey. I sure did. Please subscribe if you have not subscribed already. It would really mean a lot to the channel, and I would really appreciate it. Please and thank you. Please give this video a thumbs up if you have not given it a thumbs up already. And if you enjoyed this content, please and do enjoy. Please leave your comments down below. How did you enjoy my reading, and who else would you like me to read on? Sorry to the person that I took quite a bit while to get to your comment. However, I finally am here reading on her, and hopefully I did not disappoint with this reading. So with that being said, I will see you sunflowers in the next one. Sunflowers.